Let me share the screen. Okay, so every version SQL Server will have its own compatibility level. You cannot install all versions of the SQL servers on all versions of the Windows servers. There is a compatibility issue, first thing. Okay, so what is the compatibility in our example is you cannot wear your childhood clothes. Okay, you cannot wear your 15 years old dresses and all, right? Why? Because by that time, okay, I told you, right? Your measurements are different. Now your measurements are different. So you cannot wear those clothes now. So that is called compatibility. So in the era of 2000, they don't know in the future Windows Server 2016 will release, or in the future Windows Server 2012 will release. So the SQL Server 2000 has to support on Windows Server 2012. It won't support. Okay, so what is the formula to find out whether it is going to support or not? Every version of SQL Server will support -7 years to +7 years. Okay, so for example, now you want to find out on what and all Windows servers I can install my SQL Server 2005. Okay, I told you, right? SQL Server is an application, Windows Server is an operating system. You can install applications on the operating systems. If you want to install SQL Server, you should have one operating system. Okay, either Windows desktop or Windows Server operating system. Now let me find out. Okay, -7 to +7. 2005 -7 years. How many? How many years? Like what is the number? 2005 -7.
97. 98.
Okay.
98.
2005 plus 7 years. Yeah. 2005 plus 7 years.
2012.
2012. Right. Now, okay, you can install. Yeah, you can install your SQL Server in all this Windows servers range. Now, can anyone tell me, anyone remember what and all Windows Server versions are there in this range? 1998 to 2012.
2000.
Windows Server
2003.
2000. Okay, 2003.
2003,
2003.
Yes.
2008,
2008.
2008
2008
R2,
R2.
8R2.
12.
Very good. Excellent.
2012,
Yes, very good.
2012.
Excellent. Okay, so you can install your SQL Server 2005 on all these Windows Server operating systems. Okay, clear? Now, tell me on what and all Windows Server operating systems I can install my SQL Server 2017. -7
2012.
7,
sorry, 2017 -7, 2010. Okay,
2010,
yeah, and 2017 plus 7.
24,
2020.
24,
2019.
2024.
24.
Who is saying 2019? Okay, that's fine. Right, 2010 to 2024, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there?
12.
Okay,
2012.
okay,
2012 R2.
12
okay.
R2,
16.
2016.
Okay.
2016.
And we have,
2019.
yes,
Latest version 2019.
we have Windows Server 2019 also. Maybe in the future, if Windows Server 2022 or 2023 or 2024 may come. Okay, so till that version, your SQL Server 2017. Okay, you can install your SQL Server 2017 on all these versions of the Windows Server operating systems. Okay, is muted if you don't have questions. Right. Okay, thank you for that. Right, damn sure you can install your SQL Server 2005 on all these versions. If someone comes to you, hey Nandini, can you please install my SQL Server 2005 on Windows Server 2016? What is your answer?
It will not be compatible.
Yes. Okay, so sometimes customers will directly raise an email. Okay, they are going to send an email to you. Okay, can you please install 2005 on Windows Server 2016, or can you please install SQL Server 2019 on Windows Server 2008? They will come to you and they will ask you, what is your answer? Immediate answer. No, sir, we cannot install. Compatibility issues are there. We cannot install 2017 on Windows Server 2008. Okay, immediately you have to tell. You cannot promise them. Yes, I'm going to install 2017 on Windows or 2008. Later, while installing, you are getting lot of issues. Later, you found out in Google you cannot install SQL Server 2017 on Windows or 2008. If you tell that same thing to the customer, then why you told yes? Okay, so that's why these are like very simple formula. Every SQL Server usually supports -7 to +7. How many years?
14.
Yes,
14
okay.
years.
14 to 15 years. Every SQL Server version will support 14 to 15 years. Okay, every SQL Server version will support 14 to 15 years. In the meanwhile, lot of new versions will come. Okay, so like that you can go for new versions. If there is a question, okay, if Microsoft released a new version, imagine I'm using 2000, 2005, 2012 and all. Microsoft released it 2017. Okay, can is it compulsory I have to upgrade all my SQL Server, existing SQL Server to the new version?
Yes.
Not required.
Okay,
Also, it's not required.
okay, so the answer is no, it's not compulsory. It depends upon the application requirement. Sometimes if you directly upgrade to latest versions, your application may not compatible with the latest versions of the SQL servers. Okay, so don't think all applications. There are a lot of applications, guys. Say for example, if you go to the bank, okay, so if you go to the bank, they are going to use some internal application. See, Amazon.in is an external application. Public can access Amazon.in application. If you go to bank, that is an internal application. Only bank people only can access that internal application as per their requirement. Again, in the banks also, for processing loans, there are some different applications. Again, the loan section only can access those applications. So lot of applications will be there, guys. Internal applications will be there, external applications will be there. Okay, internal applications, each application will be there for a specific requirement. Okay, so don't think each application will support all versions of the SQL servers. Again, for applications also there is a limitation. This application can connect up to SQL Server 2012 only. If you directly upgrade 2012 to 2017, application can't connect to the latest version of the SQL Server. Then how can you fix it? You cannot go back. Okay, there is an upgradation concept in the SQL Server. There is no downgradation. By mistake, you upgraded 2012 to 2017. Application is not compatible. Application is unable to connect to the latest version of the SQL Server. Now customer is asking, hey, please roll back the change. Please go back to my old version. No, you cannot go back. Okay, you cannot downgrade the SQL Server, guys. You can only upgrade. So while upgrading or updating your SQL Server, you have to be very careful. The application owner should check whether the application is compatible with the latest SQL servers or not. So again, if any new version came into the market, it's not compulsory that you have to upgrade it to the new version of the SQL Server. It depends upon the applications. Still, we are using SQL Server 2000 also. Okay, 21 years old. Still, we are using SQL Server 2000 for small applications. Why? Because they don't want to upgrade their environment. Maybe they are not getting any revenue from the application. Why again they have to buy Windows servers? Why again they have to buy SQL servers latest versions? Why again they have to invest? See, in case if you are not getting revenue, how come you can invest lakhs of money? You cannot invest, right? So, but the application should be up and running. That's it. They don't need any upgradations and all. So again, it's not compulsory to upgrade the applications to the latest versions of the SQL Server. It depends upon the application requirements. Okay, don't know, might be you may got job in a big company which supports 2000 2005 also. Okay, so again, don't, okay, what you can say, don't advise them, sir, can we upgrade this application to the latest versions? Yes, you can just advise them, but they know as the applications are not compatible with the latest versions of the SQL servers, so might be the application should be up and running, but they don't need to upgrade the applications. They are not interested to upgrading the applications. Okay, clear? Right, so this is the formula. Okay, in case if anyone asks, you can calculate as per this formula. Right, okay, so now we'll try to set up the environment today. We'll start setting up the demo and all. Right, so now I am going to install SQL Server. SQL Server 2017, right? So for that, I am going to use Windows Server 2012. I am going to use Windows Server 2012 software to install SQL Server 2017. Okay, fine. Right. So here you have to understand very important thing here. Okay, so we will have virtual machines and physical machines. What is virtual machine? What is physical machine? What is the difference between these two?
Physical machines which you have seen by మనం కంపెనీస్ యూస్ చేసి ఫిజికల్ మిషన్స్ యూస్ చేస్తారు మోస్ట్లీ.
Yes. Companies physical
Virtual
machines, they are
machines
going to
అనేది
use
దాని
physical machines. They are going to use physical machines. Companies.
yes, companies physical machines.
Earlier they are going to use physical machines only. Nowadays everything is virtual only. So in any company, 90% of the machines are virtual machines, VMs.
Use physical machines
Okay.
to create virtual machines.
Yes, and we might be 10% earlier. Okay, earlier 50% before virtual machine software. Okay, earlier we don't have virtual machine softwares. Okay, there is no choice, right? We have to use physical machine only. So earlier, like 15 years back, 20 years back, most of the machines are physical machines only. Okay, physical machines means, what is physical machine? Your laptop is a physical machine. You can see, you can feel, you can touch it. That is called physical machine. What is virtual machine? Virtually it will be existed. Okay, you cannot touch it. It will be existed. Okay, you can feel it, you can see it, but you can't touch it. Okay, it will be existed virtually. You can see the machine, you can access the machine, but you can't touch the machine. Whereas laptop, you can touch the laptop, right? You can turn on the laptop, turn off the laptop. Once your work is completed, you can, okay, put it in a rack. So you can do whatever you want. That is your physical machine. Okay, virtual machine means using this physical machine resources. Using this physical machine resources, we can create multiple virtual machines. Can anyone tell me what are the main resources for creating a server or machine? What are the main resources? If you want to buy a new laptop, what and all things you are going to look into it?
CPU,
CPU,
storage,
storage,
OS, operating system,
operating system.
RAM and hard disk.
Very good. RAM. Okay,
hard
so
disk.
yes, storage means hard disk only. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So these are the main resources for any machine. Machine means again laptop only. Okay, in our usually in the companies, the company terminologies, we are going to call it as machines, boxes and all. Okay, box or machine, everything. Okay, it reflects the laptops only. Laptop means your machine, servers, right? So every machine needs a CPU, every machines need storage and RAM. Okay, these three are main important thing. Of course OS is also very important. Okay, so OS you can install, not an issue. Okay, so in your laptop, okay, in your physical machine, imagine your physical machine is having 16 GB RAM. Okay, and 1 TB hard disk and 16 core CPU. Imagine 16 core CPU. Using these resources, you can create multiple virtual machines using VM softwares. Okay, from 2005 onwards, around like that. Okay, so usually virtual machines are introduced into the market using VM softwares. Okay, we have different VM softwares, virtual machine softwares in the market. Okay, so those are all Oracle VirtualBox and VMware. And can anyone tell me any other VM technology?
Hyper-V.
Hypervisor. Okay, we are going to call it as
Hyper-V.
Hyper-V. Okay, Hyper-V or hypervisor, both are same only. Okay, using these virtualization technologies, you can convert a physical machine into number of virtual machines. What these softwares will do, your Oracle VirtualBox or VMware or hypervisor, what these softwares will do, they are going to help you to create virtual machines based on your resources. Okay, so again, don't think like you can create lot of VM virtual machines with your laptop resources. There is a limitation. If your laptop is having 4 GB RAM, you cannot share this 4 GB RAM to other machine. Why? Because for running Windows 10 operating system only takes 4 GB RAM. How can see? For example, if you have food, then only you can share with others. If you don't have food, how can you share the food with others? Right? In the same way, if it has resources, you can create virtual machines based on the physical resources. But if you don't have RAM, instead of 16 GB, you are having 4 GB RAM only, then it will be difficult to share the RAM with other virtual machines. Means virtual machine means simply you are going to create simply blindly, you are going to create one more laptop, virtual laptop in your existing physical laptop based on the resources. Resources means CPU, memory, RAM. CPU, memory, storage. Memory, RAM, both are same. Storage, hard disk, both are same. Clear, right? Using this virtualization technologies, either you can use Oracle VirtualBox, VMware, or hypervisor. You are going to convert your physical laptop into virtual machines. In the organization also same way. On behalf of laptops, we can call it as a servers. One physical pool of memory resources will be there. Some 2 terabytes of RAM will be there, and 10 or 100 terabytes of storage will be there, and might be 10,000 CPU cores will be there. They are going to pull those resources based on the customer requirement. They are going to create multiple virtual machines using these softwares. Either you can use Oracle VM or VMware. VMware is very famous. Okay, hypervisor. It depends upon the company requirement, guys. Okay, I am going to use Oracle VirtualBox. Why? Because it is very lightweight. Okay, you can create 512 MB RAM machines also using VirtualBox. But whereas for VMware, if you use VMware, it will need a lot of memory and all. At least 2 GB memory should be there if the machine is up and running. Okay, so throughout our practice, we are going to use Oracle VirtualBox. So now I want to install SQL Server 2017, right? Now tell me what is the step-by-step process, what I have to create first.
We have to create that virtual box.
Very
But
good.
VMware.
Yes, okay, create virtual machine. Okay, first step. Next, after creating virtual machine, what I have to do? Once
We
you
have to
bought,
create
yes, you bought,
instance.
yeah, you have bought a laptop, new laptop, what they are going to do?
Windows Server.
Install OS.
So
OS.
Yes, they are going to
OS.
install operating system. Then finally, you can install SQL Server. Okay, so these are the main steps. Now we are going to do the same. Okay, now I am going to do these 2 steps for today. Tomorrow I'll explain how to install SQL Server. What are the challenges? Okay, what is the how many instances? What is default instance? What is named instance? What is the security? What is Windows authentication? What is SQL Server authentication? Okay, and we'll explain all those things during installation. We are going to get a lot of terminologies. We are going to explain all the things in tomorrow's class. As of now, what I'll do, I'll install. Before that, what I'll do, I'll install virtual box software. Why? Because we have to install first VirtualBox software, right? Then only you can create virtual machines. Then you can install operating system. Then finally, your machine will be ready with these 3 steps. Then finally, after machine is ready, finally you can install SQL Server. Very easy, right? Any
yes.
doubts? Any issues? Right, fine.
No.
Yeah. So I have already, okay, installed Oracle VirtualBox in my machine. Okay, I have already installed VirtualBox in my machine. So what I'll do is I will, okay, turn on one virtual machine. I will just turn on one Windows server. In that Windows server, I'll show you how to install VirtualBox software. Okay. Again, this setup won't be there. Whatever steps I'm doing now, you have to do it in your laptop. As I have already installed VirtualBox software in my laptop, I cannot install again. Okay. So that's why what I'm doing, I'm going to use one machine. Okay. In that machine, I'll show you how to install Oracle VirtualBox software. What you have to do, you have to follow the same steps in your laptop. Is it clear, everyone? Again, people will call tomorrow and sir, I'm unable to find the machine, sir. How to install Oracle VirtualBox, sir? Like that, they are going to ask the questions. As I have already installed, I cannot uninstall now. A lot of machines are there. So what I will do simply, I am going to start one machine. In that machine, I'll show you how to install Oracle VirtualBox software. It's very easy. Again, guys, these two steps belongs to Windows team. Okay. Let me open the document. These three steps belongs to Windows team. In the organization, we will have different teams for every activity. VOps team, they are going to create virtual machines. Okay. WinOps team, they are going to install operating systems, extend the storage, okay, extend the memory. These things they are going to do. Okay. NetOps, network operations, okay, they are going to take care of the IP addresses, okay, and networking, shared path, internet access, okay, these things and all. NetOps team is going to take care internet access and all, right? DBOps, database operations, either SQL DBS, okay, or Oracle DBS done by why? Because tracks. Anyone, everyone having issues?
No issues, Shanmu.
Right. Okay. Fine. Let me turn on this. This server is like it's up and running now. Let me log in and let me connect virtually to this machine. How to get this software? I'll share the links. Okay. I'll share the links. Okay. So like installing, like usually if you want to get it, okay, you have to download it from the Google. Okay. Only you can get the Oracle VirtualBox software. Okay, you cannot get the Windows Server operating system and all. I'm going to share you the Windows Server SQL Server operating systems. Okay, right? So like with this today's class and tomorrow's class, okay, I'm going to finalize those who are interested. Then if you people are let me know who are interested with these classes, then I'm going to share you the softwares and all so that you can proceed with the next class. Okay, by tomorrow we are going to close the demo classes and the sessions will be continue. Okay, so and let me connect to this server. Again, don't worry, whatever I'm doing, just forget about it. Don't worry about all these things. I'll explain again. Okay. Everything I'll explain again, guys. Don't worry. Okay. 168.43.174. This is how servers will look like in the organization. This is how you have to connect to the servers. Okay, I'll tell you how to connect. What is this remote desktop? Okay, what is MSTSC? I'll tell you everything. I'll explain. Okay, don't worry. So let me copy the Oracle VirtualBox software to this machine. Okay, it's very easy, guys. Installing Oracle VirtualBox is very easy. You have to simply copy the software and you have to open the software and next install. That's it. Let me check in which machine or else. 1 minute, please. Let me connect my hard disk. Okay, we have already downloaded a new version. Let me copy this one. Let me paste again. Till now, okay, forget everything. Okay, now from this step onwards, you have to do it your own laptop. Okay, once installation is like, what you will do, I'll share the links, right? You have to download the softwares. Okay, once you just downloaded the softwares, okay, you have to open the Oracle VirtualBox software and you can start installing in your own laptop. This step you have to do it in your own laptop. As I have already installed VirtualBox in my laptop. Okay, I am showing how to install VirtualBox in the server. Okay. Right. Okay, fine. Right. You will download the Oracle VirtualBox software, right? It will be downloaded to, again, guys, please keep all the softwares in a separate folder. Again, don't search here and there. You are going to waste the time. Don't keep it there and here. Just once download is completed, just create a folder software, SQL softwares, and keep the softwares. Why? Because we'll have Oracle VirtualBox software, we will have Windows Server software, we will have SQL Server softwares and all, right? Again, don't keep here and there. Okay. Again, don't waste while searching. Okay, right. Once you downloaded the software, right click. Remember, guys, from this day onwards, every application you have to open run as administrator. Usually, if you want to install any application, you will double click on the setup file, right? Don't do that. As a DBA, okay, you have to open any application. Again, don't try to open notepads. Okay, what we have Excel sheets with run as administrator. Okay, I'm saying only applications. Every application, either Oracle VirtualBox or your SQL Server softwares, you have to open with run as admin mode. It will fix a lot of issues. Sometimes you may not have permissions, okay, to install the software and all. sometimes if you don't open the application with run as admin mode during the installation, you will get a lot of issues. So again, it's very good habit to open any application with run as admin mode. How to open any application with run as admin mode? Select it, right click, you can see run as admin mode option. Okay, this one, just click on run as administrator so that you will get a yes or no option, and click on yes option. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. Yeah, just go next. Okay, this is how, once you open the setup file, this is how it look like. Okay, just go next. Right. Okay, now again go next. Again, nothing will be there, guys. Next, 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 install. That's it. This step will be done by the which team? We will do these things in the organization. VOps. Okay, virtual. Yeah, virtual machine teams will be there. Okay.
Ops.
Yes. Okay.
Ops.
So yeah, just click yes here. Network interfaces. Just click yes. Then click on install button. That's it. It will be completed. The same steps where you have to do, guys. Let me tell you once here. With any virtualization softwares, okay, virtualization settings should be enabled, okay, at boot level. Okay, there is a setting called virtualization setting in the boot level. Okay, so once you turn on your laptop during the restart, okay, during the restart process, don't wait till it is going to be restarted. Okay, during the restart, you can see the black screen, right? During the restart, either you have to press F2 or F9 or F10 based on the vendors. If you are using Dell laptop, might be you have to press F9 or F10. If you are using Lenovo, might be you have to press F2. I don't know exactly what kind of function keys you have to use, but these are the function keys will allow you to go into the boot settings, guys. Okay, it will allow you to go into the boot settings. When you have to, okay, click this function keys during the restart of your computer. While starting or restarting your computer, just check in the Google what is the boot key for your laptop. Dell, there is a different function key. Lenovo, there is a different function key. Just search it, and during installation you have to press this function key. Then it is going to allow you to go into the boot level settings. Once you just go to the boot level settings, let me show you. Why? Because I cannot show you, right? If I restart my laptop, the connection will be disconnected, right? Virtualization. Okay. Right. Let me go to the pictures, images. Right. Okay. So like this, you can see these kind of settings, guys. Okay. In the BIOS settings, you can see virtualization technology. By default, it will be disabled. Okay. Where you can see that option. If you go to the screen, you can see, right? By default, let me process. Yeah. Intel virtualization technology, by default, it will be disabled. Just use your arrow keys. Okay. Cursor won't work here. Use your arrow keys. Okay. Once you just go to the virtualization technology, hit enter, it will give you disabled, enabled. Again, use your arrow key to select enabled option, hit enter, okay, it will be selected. Then finally you have to click F10, okay, to save and exit those settings, right? Let me close the meeting. It is showing less than 1 minute. It is going to close now. I'll close the meeting and I'll again reopen the meeting. Just use the same meeting link. Okay. Right.
Okay, Shyam.